Yeah. All right, everybody. Hey, it's David Kramer, the Critical Thinking Christian, and today I want to talk about a passage of scripture that I was thinking about today. I wasn't dwelling on it or meditating on it, or I didn't go back to being a Christian. Okay. And for those of you who thought I was a Christian, well, there you have it. Uh, the passage is 1 Corinthians 14:33. For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints. Okay, now that last part, uh, you know, is something I want to talk about too. But I was thinking about that today, and I thought, no, God is not the author. Well, God is the author of confusion, since He created the whole mess, and He created the mechanism, i.e. the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. He created the woman. He created the serpent. Okay, He created the man. Okay, He created all of the everything that set this entire, according to the Bible, set this entire mess into motion. Okay, without His creating the world, okay, and then creating man, placing a tree in the Garden of Eden, pretty much a ticking time bomb. This whole thing was a ticking time bomb in Genesis. He created a serpent that walked around talking and was shining and was real slick. I'd say the serpent was the first. He was the god of the players and the pickup artists. Hey, baby, how's it going, huh? Yeah, you're looking sweet, huh? Yeah, totally naked. But he created all of these things. He put all of the right. I'm having a hard time thinking now. Maybe that's God because He don't want me to come out with the truth. I don't know. But He put all the ducks in a row. The tree. He had man and the woman. He had the serpent. The woman went up to the tree. The serpent said, "Take a look at this, baby. Doesn't it glisten?" And she's like, "Damn right it glistens." He goes, "You go ahead and you eat that. You ain't going to die. Everything will be good. Don't worry. Trust me." I mean, look at me, huh? Don't I glisten? Yeah, you sure do glisten. Yeah. Take it. Go ahead. There you go. All right. So He created all of that. He set that into motion. And then He also created a devil. He also created the Satan. And He created apparently these angels who rebelled and came down here and, made it with these women. And according to some, I guess you could say, apologists, evangelists, these angels came down, they had sex with these women gave birth to these giants, and then after these giants were killed, okay, that's before, and after the flood, their spirits became the demons, which of course was God's plan, because after all, He's omniscient. So this here was His plan. That's weird. My mail did come, then my mail came again. I don't know. But anyway, uh, so He created all of these. Uh, yeah, I tell you what, my brain just don't want to fucking think. But anyway, He created every single part. Okay? And then, of course, you have, like I said, with the demons, you have these demonic entities, apparently, fallen angels, which I was told there's a difference between demons and fallen angels. Like, you really need more of this bullshit. But the angels have these principalities. They're in charge. And then you got these demons under them. And these demons will possess people. Okay? And you don't really need to ask them to come in. It's just the right circumstances and boom, they're there. And all of this, okay, gives people different beliefs. Okay, you have Hinduism, you have Islam, you have Christianity, you have Catholicism, you have Mormons, you have the Zoroastrians, you have Buddhism, you have trying to think. You have I don't know what the Reverend Moon and his cult do. You have Scientology. You have Judaism. You have all of these different faiths, philosophies. You can say that Marxism, communism is a belief. You have to put your faith in that system. Capitalism. Okay, so you have all of these different ways of believing. And one person's going to believe one way, it works for them, another person's going to believe another way. Okay, all of this was created by this God, which technically, if you look at it from the Christian perspective, all of that outside the Christian perspective, okay, every belief, every philosophy, whatever, is confusion. Yeah, but God is the one who created that confusion. Okay, it doesn't matter what a Christian tells you need to believe. If I'm a Buddhist, and I've been a Buddhist most of my life, and it's worked for me, okay, Tao, you're a Taoist, okay, there's Shinto, okay, a Mormon, okay, you believe these things, and it works for you, you feel like there's something there, and you can, if you're in a religion where you can pray to some deity. Okay, you take a look at the ancient religions. You had the Greek pantheon, the Roman pantheon, which was similar. Okay, my ancestors that were Viking and Germanic had their pantheons. And what I'm finding out about them, since I'm more interested in what my ancestors worshipped, they worshipped each god represented something in nature. Yes, sometimes a god would be representing, say a human would represent the god, or maybe that human was considered that god. Say you had someone like a Hercules, someone who was really strong. He was stronger than everybody else, but still you had all of these beliefs, and animism. Animism, I think, is the oldest religion, where you pretty much just, you live life and, you take care of the earth. You take a look at, like, Indians, like the Indians that lived on the plains and that hunted the buffalo. They would use pretty much every single thing that they got from that buffalo, because they did worship a great creator, but they were, I think, more in animism, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. It was revering the earth and stuff like that. I don't have a problem with that. This environmental movement we have nowadays is just total fucking bullshit. I think all you got to do, I mean, I live back in the woods. I don't pour oil in on the ground. I get rid of it. I can use it to burn trash and shit like that. So I try not to be a, you know, kill the earth. And that's pretty much animism. You go out hunting and you hunt what you need. You need this much food. You go out and you hunt that many animals. Okay, but still, if the Bible considers everything confusion, didn't God create all that confusion? That's his fault. That's right at his doorstep. It's not your fault. Okay, it's not. The Aborigines have been around. I think they said something like 50,000 years at least. Okay? I mean, for all those years, worshiping the way they did, just living off the land and all that stuff, they seemed to do well until white man came and decided to make them into, civilized people, okay, which I'm sure to them was confusing. But, like I said, he is the author of confusion because he created this mess, okay, knowing full well that there were going to be other beliefs that were going to work for other people. This percentage works there, that percentage, that percentage. Okay, so, yeah, for God is the author of confusion. Now, another thing, but of peace as in all churches of the saints. Now, this here is 1 Corinthians. Okay? And in 1 Corinthians, you had a lot of shit going on in the churches. It doesn't seem peaceful. Sin, doubt, shit like that. I mean, you just take a look at churches we have nowadays. I think of a guy I knew. He died a few years ago, and he was one of the people that I went to a church here in Myerstown, Pennsylvania. And I went, and he was, I'd say, going to that church, that was the guy that I liked because he was a down-to-earth guy. He wasn't judgmental. When I talked to him, I actually got wisdom. The other people were just a bunch of fucking self-righteous, narcissistic fucking scumfucks. And that church had a split. It was like a Jerry Falwell type. They just followed that mold. And the guy in charge, the preacher in charge, got to a point where he was telling people they had to give so much money every month, etc. And I said this before, he got, I think, when they took him out of that church, they put him in a church in Alaska, which sounds like the military. If you're a rebel or whatever, they're going, listen, we got a post for you up there in far north. That way I'll keep you, you'll behave. But they had a split, okay? And then I had went there after the split, and it was a real tyrannical. You had two guys that were, they were pretty much in charge. They were the ones who set the rules and the boundaries, and you had the preacher and all that. But eventually, I got out of that. But that church pretty much poof, and then they went other places. They split up. Peace in churches. That's not something. Yeah, if there's peace in a church, it's because people are pretty much just sitting there, just going along with it. All right. But anyway, that's pretty much what I have for today. God, the God of the Bible, yeah, he is the author of confusion. So that's it. So. I'm going to stop saying that's it. That's the last time. And until next time, there's David Kramer, the Critical Thinking Christian.